Remember the Wii U? Because I sure don't. In fact, I don't think many people watching this video even own a Wii U because of its less than stellar sales. Because of this, there weren't really many games made for the Wii U. Now I do have a Wii U, but unlike its predecessor, the Wii, I don't think I've touched it for over 4 years. Mostly because there's no good games to play that aren't on the Switch. But then I realized that if I didn't like any of the games released for the Wii U, I could just make one myself. So that was the beginning of the journey of me making a Wii U game in 2025. So the first thing I had to do to make a game for the Wii U was to actually find it. Okay, after a few minutes of searching, I finally found my Wii U. I mean, you could tell I don't use this console very often. Now let's plug this thing in and boot it up. Damn, it actually works. Okay, now that I have a Wii U and know that it works, I can get started in Unity. So let me just switch to the Wii U platform and well, it's not there just like last time. So I guess it's time to try and find the SDK. Okay guys, so after searching on Bing, I finally found a way to make Unity work with the Wii U. And all I have to do is follow this tutorial by Retro and Dev. And by the way, big thanks to him for making this video possible. So to get the SDK, I literally have to become a Nintendo developer and make an account. So after giving Nintendo all of my personal information and signing an NDA, I finally have access to the developer portal. Wow, there's so much stuff. Wait, is that the SDK for the Nintendo Switch too?
Nintendo Ninjas.
Okay, before these Nintendo Ninjas get to me, I should make the game. Alright guys, after searching the web, the dark web, the second page of Google, and even the secret Nintendo developer portal, I've unfortunately found out that Nintendo stopped distributing the SDK for the Wii U. So I guess this video is over guys. Subscribe, like, comment, and bye. Wait, no, don't do that. I finally found the SDK. Alright, after downloading Tor browser and going on dark web Nintendo forums, I finally found the SDK from Internet Archive via none other than the GOAT, Retro and Dev. So now I can finally start making a game for the Wii U and cure my boredom. So the idea for the game is basically a shooter like COD Zombies, but you aim with the Wii U gamepad, and the zombies are replaced with Nintendo Ninjas. So I started off by making button functionality, and it was pretty similar to the 3DS game. For example, this is how you would program the exact same system in both scenarios. So on the left is just a regular gamepad for a controller and keyboard, while the one on the right is the Wii U controllers, specifically with the B press. The annoying thing was that each time I wanted to test out something in the game, I had to build the game, then put it on this SD card USB converter I had to buy, then test it out. Anyways, here is the first ever build of the game with the Wii U gyroscope controlled camera. After this, I decided to program in the gun, so let's get started. So programming the gun was pretty much the same as you'd usually do it, except we just had to make it compatible with the Wii U input with this piece of code. So after ripping off this free MP5 3D model, as you can see, if you press A, the camera actually resets, and when you press B, the gun shoots. After this, I added some muzzle flash to the gun and made the enemy disintegrate. Okay, now let's make the enemy do stuff. Luckily, I've already programmed enemies before, so I can just copy the code from my recreating Black Ops 6 video. Wait, where's the code? Oh no.
Flashback. End of flashback.
Well, I guess it's time to spend another 5 hours writing the code. Okay, so now that the enemy follows the player around and damages them, I can start telling you a little bit about the story of the game. So basically, you, the player, broke into Nintendo's headquarters and stole the Mario Kart 9 game files. So now Nintendo sent Nintendo Ninjas after you, and you have to fight waves of them to try and escape Nintendo headquarters with the game files and give the fans a new Mario Kart game after 8 years. Wow. Alright, now that I have the idea for the game, I'll start making the models. So for the Nintendo Ninjas, I found this model on Sketchfab. I mean, it's pretty good. It's at least better than
Red Bean.
And for the map, since the model kind of looks like an enemy from Metal Gear Solid, I'm actually gonna model the map after this one area from Metal Gear Rising. Now the gameplay of this area is also really similar to how I want the gameplay of my game to be, with the enemies spawning all around you. Alright, now let's make the set. Alright guys, so now that I made the mechanics of the game work and made the models, I can finally start working on some gameplay. Now like I said in the beginning of the video, no one's probably even gonna play this game since so few of you guys probably watching have a Wii U. So I'm gonna make it pretty simple. Basically the gameplay of this game is going to be that you have a gun which you aim with the Wii U gamepad, and you're gonna shoot enemies that spawn all around you with that gun. The enemies will also be shooting you with this very dim projectile. When the enemy damages you, you can also see the health decrease until you die. There's also going to be 5 levels of this, with each level spawning more enemies, but your gear also gets better as you progress. And lower, each time you beat a level, you're going down the floor of Nintendo headquarters. And when you get to the bottom floor, you escape from Nintendo headquarters with Mario Kart 9, or I guess Mario Kart World, and win. So anyways, with the gameplay of the game figured out, I can finally actually start implementing it. Okay, so as you can see, the game works. But right now it looks pretty shit, mostly because there's no UI. So let's add some. Okay, so now that I added UI and the game actually looks decent, I can start making the waves. However, I have a different idea on how to make the wave system. So you see, normally to progress through a wave, you have to kill all the enemies. However, I decided to do something different. Instead of you having to kill a certain amount of enemies, the enemies keep spawning. And you have to survive for a set period of time. Then the next scene loads where you basically progress to go down a floor. Each time you move down, more enemies spawn, and the time that you have to survive to progress also increases. Alright, so after many trials and tribulations, such as finding the Wii U SDK, learning how to program for the Wii U, coming up with ideas, modeling the map, and fixing all the bugs that come with coding for an unfamiliar platform, the game is finally finished. As you can see, it works as intended, with the enemies dying when you shoot them and you taking damage when they collide with you. And even the wave system works with 5 waves before you can escape from the Nintendo headquarters. Also, the ending when you steal Mario Kart 9 is a reference to the ending of Mafia. So if you want to steal Mario Kart 9 and fight Nintendo ninjas on the Wii U, make sure to download the game by clicking itch.io link in the description. Or you could buy the physical copy for the low price of $89.99 Canadian or $79.99 US dollars. Anyway, subscribe, like, comment, and bye.